Hello, good afternoon, guys. I hope you guys are doing great. Happy Friday to you, people. Today, yes, I don't have my signature red lips, but um, my makeup kit has vanished. But yeah, I still had to come on live because I still have things to talk about with you guys. So, with or without the red lips, we're doing this live video. So, guys, you're welcome to this live video. If you watch later, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and follow this page. If you're watching on YouTube, again, comment, subscribe, and all the things that you need to do, right? It's social media. So, guys, drop me your comments. Let me know where you're connecting from. I am recording from Manassas, Virginia. Today, the weather has been kind, so it's not too cold. So, yes, let's jump straight into it. I will be reading comments very soon. So, drop them, drop your emojis. Let me know how you're feeling, how you're doing. Yes, unfortunately, we have really, well, not too good news. It's kind of bad news. Those who follow my page have probably seen that I shared news articles on this news for the past few months since President Joe Biden came into power. He has been trying to do some, and to actually do some immigration reform, make sure that he implements immigration reform for about 11 million undocumented immigrants. And so it's been plan after plan after plan, and it's been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And the budget reconciliation process started a few months ago, and the Democrats wanted to use the budget reconciliation to actually effectuate the immigration reform. And so this is because, again, you guys know, of course, we have Democrats have majority in the House and Senate. In Senate, it's a 50-50 split Senate. Okay, so only Kamala Harris will break the tie on the side of the Democrats. And so if they need to be able to vote on any type of bill that will be turned into law, then they need a majority, a super majority of 60 votes in Senate. But we don't have the number of votes. Of course, when I say we, I'm sorry, yes, I'm just getting some serious messages, so I just keep getting distracted. So the Democrats need 60 votes to be able to overcome a filibuster, okay, so that they can be able to vote upon this bill. However, it will be very difficult to get 10 Republicans who want immigration reform. All of them, and well, most of them, I should say, well, or probably all of them, because again, as I keep saying, they're very unified and solidified in their opposition against any type of immigration reform, because they believe that you will be kind of encouraging illegal immigration. And so that's the whole pushback against this immigration reform. So the point is that the Democrats wanted to use budget reconciliation to be able to implement immigration reform. So we had plan A that was okay. So now let me share my screen. Let's get right into the juice. Let's get the proper, oh my gosh. First, I should have normally share the screen before I come on. I think I failed to do that. Let me just quickly grab the screen. That shouldn't take more than a second. Okay, no need to cry over spilled milk here. I won't go through. Okay, throughout the entire reconciliation process, we have worked to ensure that immigration reform was not treated as an afterthought. Okay. Yeah, the Democrats are very, very disappointed because they've worked really, really hard. Okay, so Democrats are using, let me go back here. Hold on, guys. Let me open this up. So Democrats are using reconciliation to pass budgetary legislation with a simple majority. And what they're doing is they want to sidestep, as I keep telling you guys, the legislative filibuster by the GOP in the 50-50 Senate. The GOP is the Republicans, right? And the Republicans, again, they have been steadfast in their opposition to the move. So in September, McDonnell ruled against Democrats in two previous efforts to include immigration reform plans in the social and climate spending package. That's a BBB package, which they call exactly the Build Back Better plan. Okay. So let's do a very, very, very quick recap of what the two plans entailed, and then we'll look at the third plan, and then the reasoning, and then we'll look at what the next move by the Democrats could be in, sort of implementing this immigration reform. So in the first attempt, again, that was known as the Plan A, the Democrats, they proposed a pathway to citizenship for 8 million immigrants. That was a very big dream. That was a very, pie in the sky. But McDonald's rejection appeared to close the door to this option through the spending bill process. A few weeks later, a second proposal known as a Plan B. So the Plan A, we discussed this right here. Please go back on my previous videos. Plan B, we discussed it also very extensively. That was through the registry provision, trying to give undocumented immigrants legal residency through the registry provision. It was also rejected. Okay. And the third proposal, which was the Plan C, which was the parole strategy, this was actually passed by the House last month, and so it came into Senate and they needed to vote upon it. But as you guys know, we've discussed, in Senate they have their particular rules, things they had to make sure they gave the bird bath to be able to tell whether things like the immigration provision was appropriate to be included in a budget reconciliation. And the Senate parliamentarian has given her ruling. According to her, it's inappropriate, and it's the same reason she's given, that the policy impact outweighs the budgetary impact. Okay, so yeah, that's it. She says the policy. I think I shared that on my page, that this is more of a policy, it's a policy decision. It's a big policy change. It's not a budget issue. It's not a budgetary issue. So it cannot and should not be included in a reconciliation. So what is the next move? So the Democrats may consider, I don't know what they're going to do, but guys, remember that the Senate parliamentarian is only there as an arbiter, okay? To make sure that the rules in Senate are actually followed. She's a referee, but her recommendations are not binding. They're just recommendations, and that's what they are. And so her recommendations can be ignored and she can be overruled. But will the Democrats be willing to do that? Because all those things have impact. Okay, those will have an impact on precedents and moving forward how things are done in Senate. So let's take a look at what the two options that the Democrats could resort to, what that two options could be. So the first one we're going to be looking at is the nuclear option. Very briefly, I'm not going to go into, because to be honest, the rules in Senate are very, very complicated. I was reading this afternoon, the process of budget reconciliation and some other things on the website, and it's really complicated. But yeah, I pulled this up from another discussion. But yes, this applies very nicely. So I will be able to use this to explain what this option would be. Okay, so what is the nuclear option? That's one of the options that they could resort to. That's the Democrats. The nuclear option is a last resort, break-in case of emergency way for the majority party in Senate to overcome obstruction by the minority. And normally the nuclear option means that Senate can actually, go ahead with whatever bill that they're trying to implement by a simple majority of 51 instead of 60. Okay, so wait, let me see if I can scroll up a little bit. I think I'm just on the with a simple majority of 51 votes. Under the previous rule, 60 votes are needed, okay, to foil any attempt by the minority party, that's the Republicans, to block a vote by use of the filibuster. Okay, that's it. And so, pretty much the nuclear option really means that they can now vote by simple majority in Senate. Okay, and it means that they're going to have to change the rules of Senate. And that's it, changing the rule. So that's the nuclear option, changing the rule so that now you don't need a 60 member vote in Senate, but now you need a 51 member vote in Senate. I hope that's clear. I mean, we're just making it really simple for all of us to understand. We're all not senators, you see. So that's pretty much the what's known as the nuclear option. So they could resort to number one, the nuclear option. And if they need just 51 votes, then that will be good because the Democrats have 50 votes and Kamala Harris makes 51. And so that would be great if they decide to do that, to change the rules. Of course, again, it has future implications on, precedents in Senate, setting a precedent in Senate. We won't go into all of that. Now, let's look at what the second option will be. The second option will include what is known as a waive. Oh, let me share this. Did I miss this part? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it out. Yes, it can be, points of order can be waived. Okay, that's it. I found it. Perfect. Guys, I hope you guys are good. I see one comment here. Drop me the comments. I will be sharing them. I mean, I'll be reading them soon. So don't hesitate to drop them. Okay, right here. Yes. Exactly. So this is from budget.house.gov. That's the House Committee on the Budget. That's the the website. This is a government website. I think, yeah. One of the committees in Senate, their website, and they talk about financial things, implicate budgetary things. So this discusses. Okay. Why can't I scroll? Okay, perfect. Here. Okay, over here they talk about what the bird bath is. We discussed what the bird bath is in a few of our last videos, so we won't go into that. And how this plays into this is that, remember that this is a budget reconciliation, and so if there's anything that is extraneous to the budget, the bird bath will be able to identify that no, this particular provision included that you have sneaked into the budget does not comply with the bird bath because it's extraneous to the budget and so needs to be taken out. Okay. So once you say that, okay, so any senator may raise a point of order against an extraneous provision in the reconciliation bill, amendment, or the conference agreement. So the point is that the immigration provision, which was inside the Build Better Back bill, again, we discussed that bill. We had the text of the bill and we reviewed extensively all the definitions, all the provisions that that cover immigration. Okay, so if there's an extraneous provision, I think it was section 13, if I remember correctly, from, I think we did this 2 or 3 weeks ago, that was the immigration provisions in the BBB bill. So if a senator decides that no, this looks like it's extraneous to the budget, then they'll raise something known as a point of order. Okay, and the Senate parliamentarian, that's the Elizabeth McDonough, she will decide whether there's a bird rule violation, and provisions will be struck through a bird rule. Yeah, and provisions that are struck through a bird rule point of order cannot be offered later as amendments. So clearly, the Senate parliamentarian has decided that this is a bird rule violation because, again, she feels like the budgetary impact outweighs the policy, the fact that it's it's a big policy decision outweighs the budgetary impact of the provision on the budget, on the financial, on the budget. Okay, so in addition to reconciliation specific points of order, reconciliation bills are subject to other Senate points of order. This is not what I'm looking for. Okay, so right here. So they can, again, bird rule points of order can be waived. Okay, so next move could be that they could resort to the nuclear option that we have discussed, by resorting to a simple majority vote, by 51 majority vote. Here, the point of order can be waived. So bird rule bedroll point of order. So this point of order that has been raised that no, it's extraneous, the immigration provisions are extraneous to the budget reconciliation, it can be waived by a vote of 60 senators. But how practical or even how successful will this be? Because they don't have 60 senators who are on their side in terms of them, trying to undergo immigration reform. So this might be very, very hard to achieve unless, of course, they come up with a plan, another plan D maybe, or even a totally different plan, which has nothing to do with the reconciliation bill. So the reason why it was really important to have them actually pass the immigration provision through the reconciliation bill is because they could have been able to do with 51 votes instead of 60 votes, which is always really, really difficult to actually achieve. I see my assistant messaging me here. She's also watching the video. Okay, well, Annie, thank you for watching. She's going to be, of course, doing the work on the video. So I'm not sure why she's laughing. I don't know what's going on, guys. Anything funny, Annie will have to explain that to me later. But yeah, Annie is a very friendly voice you hear when you call us, and she's very, very helpful, very serviceable. So guys, make sure you call if you need our assistance with anything. That's our phone number right there, 1-802-7800-564. So guys, that's it with the the very sad, bad news. Plan C has also been rejected, unfortunately, because they had so much hope. President Biden was like, oh, the BB bill will pass. But you see, one difference you guys have to understand is that the fact that the Senate parliamentarian has rejected the immigration provision does not really affect the whole package, okay? The whole package is the BBB. And let me put back my banner. Okay, right here. The whole plan is a Build Better Back bill. And so just the immigration provision will probably be taken out of the bill. But the rest of the bill could pass or could be voted upon and then, could pass. So this rejection just has to do with the immigration provision. Again, it's not binding. And so we're waiting We're waiting to see what the next move would be. Overriding, her recommendation, the Senate parliamentarian's recommendation, as I keep saying, has its own implications on, how things will be done in Senate moving forward. So, it's just some Democrats say that, look, let's not try to override the Senate parliamentarian, because if you try to override her next time that Republicans have, the majority vote in Senate, they will also do the same thing to make sure that they pass laws that favor them, and that's not a game that anybody wants to play, sort of. So they want it to be something that passes through kind of without any kind of controversy. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys have benefited from this video. I'm thankful that I came here today, despite the fact that I don't have my signature red lips on and whatever. But yes, I still needed to come to discuss this with you guys before the news got cold. This was hot breaking news. So just to discuss it. So guys, I wish you all a very wonderful weekend. And let me read a comment from Olamide Adebayo, who says, well done, beautiful attorney. Thank you so much, Olamide. I really appreciate your very, very kind words all the time and your presence here in this video. So guys, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. I will see you hopefully next week. Take care and be safe. Bye-bye.